Let me tell you something. Irresistibility has nothing to do with age, flawless skin, or fitting into a younger woman's world. It has everything to do with how you carry yourself, how you respect yourself, and how you move through the world. Yet somehow, society still tries to convince us that the older we get, the more invisible we become. But what if I told you that's a lie? The truth is, some women become more magnetic as they age, not because of how they look, but because of the habits they've built that make them unforgettable. And in this video, we're going to talk about the 6 life-changing habits that make a mature senior woman not just seen, but deeply admired, respected, and yes, irresistible. This isn't about impressing others. This is about becoming the kind of woman who impresses herself every single day. So if you're ready to reclaim your presence, rediscover your power, and step into your most magnetic self, stay with me. Let's begin. Let's be honest. Confidence isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It doesn't beg for attention. And it certainly doesn't shrink itself to fit in. True confidence, quiet confidence, is the kind that walks into a room and changes the temperature without saying a single word. And the older we get, the more we realize confidence isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about knowing who you are and not needing to explain it. But here's the thing. Many women, especially after 60, quietly begin to feel overlooked. Not because they've lost their worth, but because somewhere along the way, they were told to be smaller, softer, less in the way. And that's where the quiet erosion of confidence begins. So how do we reclaim it? How do we cultivate this unshakable presence that makes people lean in and listen without ever having to raise our voices? Step 1. Stand still in who you are. Quiet confidence starts with self-ownership. It's the moment you stop apologizing for existing and start showing up for yourself. You don't need to be the most beautiful woman in the room. You need to be the most anchored one. Step 2. Speak less, mean more. Confident women don't over-explain. They don't fill silence with nervous chatter. They choose their words with care, and then let those words sit. It's not about being cold. It's about being deliberate. And when you speak with intention, people start to listen differently. Step 3. Dress the way you want to be treated. You don't need to chase trends. You need to choose pieces that say, I respect myself. Whether it's a crisp linen blouse, a structured dress, or a classic necklace, how you dress reflects how you feel. And quiet confidence wears elegance like armor. Step 4. Body language is your first language. Before you say a word, your body speaks. Are you slouching to disappear, or are you holding your spine with grace? Confidence lives in your posture, in your gaze, in how you hold your hands when you enter a room. Every gesture tells the world, I am here and I am enough. And here's the truth. Confidence isn't about never doubting yourself. It's about showing up anyway, with your wrinkles, with your wisdom, with your worth. Because the woman who knows her value never has to chase attention. She attracts it by simply being fully herself. Quiet confidence is a daily choice. It's a habit you build. And once you do, you stop trying to fit in. Because you finally realize you were never meant to. Here's a truth that stings a little. The fastest way to lose yourself is to keep saying yes when your heart is screaming no. People-pleasing doesn't make you kind, it makes you exhausted, and eventually invisible to yourself. So many women, especially those of us raised to keep the peace, learn to put ourselves last. But there comes a moment in every wise woman's life where she must decide, do I want to be liked by everyone or respected by myself? Prioritizing your self-respect isn't selfish, it's essential. Because the truth is, when you honor your own boundaries, the world starts to honor them too. Step 1. Stop apologizing for taking up space. You don't need to shrink to make others comfortable. You don't need to smile when something feels wrong. And you absolutely don't need to explain your no. Say it kindly. Say it clearly, but say it. No, thank you. That doesn't work for me. I need some time for myself. Step 2. Trade guilt for grace. You're not responsible for managing other people's emotions. You can be kind without being a doormat. You can be generous without being drained. If saying yes to them means saying no to you, that's not generosity. That's self-betrayal. Step 3. Reconnect with what you want. It's easy to lose touch with your own desires when your default mode has been what does everyone else need. So ask yourself, what do I want today? What nourishes me? What have I been saying yes to out of fear, instead of love? Write it down. Say it out loud. Relearn the sound of your own needs. When you choose self-respect, something magical happens. You stop chasing validation and start building peace. People might not always like it, but the right ones, the real ones, will adjust. And the wrong ones, they'll fade away. And that, my dear, is not a loss. That's freedom. You've spent decades taking care of others. Now it's your time to take care of your truth. And that starts by putting self-respect above approval. You don't need everyone to understand your boundaries. You just need to keep them. Let's get one thing straight. Elegance doesn't expire at 40 or 50 or 60. You don't age out of style. You evolve into it. Some people hear appearance and think vanity. But for a mature woman, how you present yourself isn't about impressing others. It's about expressing self-respect. Because the way you dress, carry yourself, and care for your appearance quietly tells the world, I matter. I honor myself. I show up for me. When we take the time to dress with care, something inside us shifts. We walk taller. We speak more clearly. We engage with more presence. Psychologists call this enclothed cognition, the idea that what we wear affects not only how others perceive us, but how we perceive ourselves. Step 1. Style is not youth. It's identity. You don't need to dress younger to feel alive. In fact, the most irresistible women are the ones who dress like themselves, with ease, grace, and confidence. Forget trends. Focus on timeless shapes, quality fabrics, and pieces that feel like home. A crisp linen dress, a silk scarf, a well-cut jacket. These aren't about fashion. They're about framing your essence. Step 2. Less is almost always more. Elegance whispers. It doesn't scream. You don't need to compete with bold colors or loud patterns unless they bring you joy. Neutrals, earth tones, clean lines, soft textures. These all speak of sophistication and calm. And when you do choose color, let it be intentional. Let it be you. Step 3. Grooming is a ritual of self-respect. Taking care of your appearance isn't superficial. It's sacred. Moisturizing your skin, keeping your nails neat, styling your hair in a way that feels beautiful to you. These small acts reinforce one powerful message. I'm still here, and I'm still worth showing up for. Somewhere along the way, we were told to fade into the background as we aged. But here's the truth. Elegance becomes even more powerful with age. Because it's no longer about attracting the spotlight. It's about becoming the light. Your style doesn't have to shout. It just has to speak your truth. Because when you embrace elegance, not for others, but for yourself, you become unforgettable without ever saying a word. Have you ever spoken to someone and realized they weren't actually listening? Just waiting to respond? Now think back to a time when someone truly listened to you. No judgment, no distraction, just presence. Didn't it feel unforgettable? Here's the secret. Being a deep listener is one of the most magnetic traits a woman can have at any age. Why? Because in a noisy world full of talking heads and fast opinions, listening is rare, and what's rare is irresistible. Meaningful listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about creating space for connection, for trust, and for truth. It tells the other person, you matter. You are safe here. I see you. And that feeling is powerful, especially when it comes from a mature woman who carries wisdom without ego. Step 1. Listen with your whole body. True listening is not passive, it's active. It's felt in your posture, your eyes, your facial expressions. Put the phone down. Uncross your arms. Soften your gaze. When you lean in, not just physically but emotionally. You tell the other person, "I'm with you." Step 2. Pause before you respond. We often feel the urge to fill silence quickly, to give advice, to share our own story. But sometimes, the most respectful thing we can do is pause. Let their words breathe. Let the moment unfold. A thoughtful pause can say more than a rushed answer ever could. Step 3. Practice reflective responses. Instead of jumping in with, "I know exactly how you feel," try this. "That sounds really important to you. Tell me more about that. How did that make you feel?" This is not about fixing, it's about holding space, and few things make a woman more compelling than her ability to hold space for others. We live in a culture that praises the loudest voice in the room, but the woman who truly listens, she creates depth, she creates calm, she creates trust. And in a world starving for authenticity, that trust is rare and unforgettable. Engaging in meaningful listening isn't about people pleasing, it's about people honoring. And when you become that woman, the one who listens deeply, you'll find that people are drawn to you, not because you speak well, but because you hear them better than anyone else ever has. Here's a truth we don't hear often enough. Aging doesn't dull your light. Neglecting your curiosity does. Have you ever met a woman in her 70s who still lights up when she talks about something she loves? That glow? That's not makeup, that's passion. There is something undeniably attractive about a woman who is still interested in life. Not because she's chasing youth, but because she's honoring her spirit. When you stop being curious, you don't just slow down physically. You begin to shrink emotionally. Staying passionate and curious is a habit, a mindset, and one of the most powerful ways to stay mentally youthful at any age. Step 1. Reignite old passions. Was there something you used to love, but life got in the way? Painting, writing, music, teaching, dancing in the kitchen just because? Passions don't expire. They wait, and they whisper. All they need is your attention again. The beauty of being older is that now, finally, you can do things not for approval, but for joy. Step 2. Stay curious about the world. Read a book you wouldn't normally pick up. Ask your grandchild what music they love, and actually listen to it. Take a class. Learn something completely impractical. You don't have to master it. The point isn't perfection, it's play. It's the spark. Curiosity is contagious. When you ask thoughtful questions, show interest in people, explore new ideas, you become a source of energy that others want to be around. Step 3. Let passion lead, not fear. It's never too late to begin again. And yes, it might feel silly. Yes, you might be the oldest person in the room. But so what? Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about being willing to explore even now, especially now. Passion doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be true. And curiosity doesn't need a purpose. It just needs your permission. When you live with that spark in your eyes, you don't just look alive. You are alive. Fully, radiantly, unapologetically alive. So here's your invitation. Follow what lights you up. Even if it's small. Even if it's quiet. Even if no one understands but you. Because when a woman remains curious, she remains irresistible. We all have that one moment we wish we could take back when we snapped, broke down, or let someone else's chaos become our own. But here's the truth. The most irresistible women are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones who radiate calm in the middle of the storm. Emotional poise is not about being emotionless. It's about choosing how you respond, rather than reacting on impulse. And that is one of the rarest and most powerful habits a mature woman can embody. When a woman owns her emotions but isn't owned by them, she becomes a safe space, a steady presence, a calming force in a world that's constantly shouting. It's the grace in your silence, the softness in your tone, the strength in your restraint. Step 1. Pause before you react. The next time something triggers you, whether it's a thoughtless comment, a family argument, or a wave of frustration, pause, breathe. Feel your feet on the floor. Count to 5. Then ask, is this worth my peace? Often it isn't. And that one pause can save hours of regret. Step 2. Choose the high road without losing your voice. Emotional poise isn't about silence. It's about clarity. Speak your truth, yes, but do it from a place of calm, not chaos. Say that didn't sit well with me. Or let's revisit this when we're both clearer. These are powerful boundary-setting phrases that keep you in your dignity. Remember, you don't have to match someone's emotional intensity to be heard. In fact, the quieter your confidence, the louder your impact. Step 3. Process, don't suppress. Being poised doesn't mean you ignore pain. It means you process it intentionally. Cry if you need to. Journal. Pray. Walk it out. But don't unload on the nearest person out of habit. Let your emotions move through you, not rule over you. When you nurture emotional poise, you become a lighthouse, not tossed by waves, but steady through them. This doesn't mean life won't hurt, but it does mean you get to choose your response. And that choice is your power. Mature femininity isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And when you bring emotional grace into every room, you don't have to demand respect. You inspire it. So, here's what we've learned. From quiet confidence to timeless style, meaningful listening to joyful curiosity, every habit we've explored leads here to the kind of woman who lives with depth, dignity, and irresistible strength. Because the most attractive version of you is the one who has nothing to prove and everything to give, simply by being herself. Here's the beautiful truth. Becoming irresistible isn't about age, looks, or chasing approval. It's about becoming deeply rooted in who you are and living from that place unapologetically. Each of the 6 habits we've explored isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. Quiet confidence, self-respect, elegant presence, meaningful connection, a curious spirit, emotional grace. These are the marks of a woman who has lived, learned, and chosen to rise on her own terms. So no matter where you are on your journey, know this: it's never too late to become the most radiant, self-assured, and emotionally magnetic version of yourself. The world needs more women like you, women who don't fade with age, but shine because of it. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to reflect, which of these 6 habits will you begin cultivating today? Let me know in the comments. I'd truly love to hear. And if you found inspiration here, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with another incredible woman who deserves to hear this message. Because becoming irresistible isn't about impressing others, it's about honoring the masterpiece you've already become. Until next time, stay elegant, stay curious, and above all, stay true to you.